For a country where every extra day of fighting brings more misery, displacement and death, the cessation of hostilities agreement is a relief to citizens and foreigners across the world's youngest nation. But while the ceasefire deal anticipates the downing of tools of war among the rebels and government forces, everyone is anxious to see if the fighting will indeed stop within the stipulated time. The truce is, however, seen as the first step in what looks like a long road to peace. At the negotiating table, attention will now turn to resolving the broader political issues which triggered the current crisis. The talks have been adjourned until the 7th of February. Analysts say effective monitoring of the truce will be vital as tension between the two sides is still high. The agreement is thought to address the issue of 11 detainees whom the rebels wanted freed, one of the conditions blamed for the talks' deadlock. Those detained are allies of sacked Vice President Riek Machar and prominent political figures from a faction of the governing SPLM party who were arrested when President Salva Kiir first made the allegations of an attempted coup, claims which Machar denies to date. Another key rebel demand was for the Ugandan troops fighting alongside the government forces to withdraw. In the past week, government forces have recaptured the two key cities of Bor and Malakal, which were under rebel control. At Malakal, the capital of the oil-rich country's major oil-producing state of Upper Nile, days of heavy fighting have left in their wake scenes of complete devastation. Bodies are said to be decomposing on the streets, while many more are piled up in a makeshift morgue. The UN human rights chief says both government soldiers and rebels have committed atrocities in South Sudan. Of the 500,000 people internally displaced, the UN estimates that more than 70,000 are seeking shelter at UN bases across South Sudan, and almost 90,000 are in refugee camps in neighboring countries. The UN also estimates that considerably more than 1,000 people have been killed. What started out as a political dispute between President Salva Kiir and his former deputy Riek Machar mid-December last year escalated into full-scale conflict. Battle lines have increasingly followed ethnic lines, with Kiir's Dinka community battling Machar's Nuer tribe. Sylvia Chebet, Citizen Live at 9.